Welcome back. So, in this series, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create lips. So, let me just use an append cube. So, I'm going to extend this cube out. No, that's the wrong one. Select this cube in front, extend it out, and just hide the one at the back. Then I'll just scratch this in from the side. Okay, extend this out a bit more. Yes, something like this should be fine. Then I'll duplicate this. Then let's see, let's cut which leaves we cut from this pack. Uh, let's see, probably just looking for one that looks, yeah, probably any of these two should be fine. Okay, it's hard to choose. Let's use this piece. Let's use this piece instead. Okay, so there are kind of a few things happening in the lips, on a realistic lips. So I'm going to show you guys the way to go about it. But I need to dynamize this cube first. So shift F to go to the poly group. So then I'm going to use probably 40, I guess, or 60. Let's see what that gives us. Taking a moment to load. Okay, we have something in there now. Something weird happening there. What's this? This is weird. Let me undo that. Let me type in the value again. 60. Enter. Let me type in type that value. 60. Enter. I still have that in there. Okay. Oh, it's a duplicate made. Duplicate made. Let me just turn that off. My bad. Let me turn that off. Okay, so now we can work on this. What we need to and what actually need. Let me just get this in place. We'll use the clay build up brush. I need to work on this with symmetry turned on. Let me just kind of build something around this center part a bit more. So you have to keep in mind the transition of this. We need to have like a lump like this. Let me show you guys another reference image. You can see this like this lump like so. Something like this that has a kind of rounded, enveloping kind of shape. So let me check this from the top view. Something like this should be fine. Something around this roundedness should be fine. So I'm just going to add more of this and smooth that out even more. Blend that back down even more. Let me just increase the smooth brush size and smooth that out more aggressively. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay, let me smooth it out down even more. Okay. So now I want to kind of capture the shape. So I'm going to start by the center parts. I'm going to capture something like this. You can see how it is in the middle part of the lips, something like this. So from afar, you already get it from this time, already get a clear idea that, okay, this is going to be a lips. It's going to be a lip. So now I'm going to define the top part and the bottom part also. So I'm also using the Dem standard brush, but holding down Alt, it's kind of carve something out now. So I'm holding on the Alt key from this region, you have carved something out like so. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing for the top parts. I'm going to do something for the top, but the top part is the direction of view is a bit different. Something like, let me see. This is fine. Yeah, this looks fine. Let's take it from the side view. Okay, well, more or less there. Just needs more refinement for this. This now, we're kind of capture something that gives you a clear idea of it being a lips. Just need some more refinement. So let me just fill this up because there's a kind of transition around here. Let me just smooth this up. I'll show you guys from another view. So from this view, you can kind of get a better idea of the transition around there. And I'll just smooth that out. So, okay. Probably we need something for the bottom part also. You can see this part, you can see how the transition is around there. So let me kind of show you guys from the side view. So that kind of sloppy transition. That was what we're trying to create. So you always want to be careful about those transitions. It kind of gives you a better result. So now this reference from Anatomy for Sculptors reference, you can see this in here. You can see that, I don't know what that is called, but on the top part of the lip, just in between the nose and the lips, you can see this kind of indentation around there. And you can see this part also below the lower lip. So we also want to recreate that also. We're trying to have like a region that gives you a clear idea of it being a lip. You kind of fill this up just as help us to kind of give you a better idea of the shapes and form around the lips. Just fill this up also. So kind of creating that kind of sloppy transition around it. So just like we did for the top part. Something like this should be fine. Does not need to be extremely detailed or refined. So now see this side now. Let me see if I can show you guys properly. Around there now, okay, let me just deepen this even more. Okay. So let's kind of fill up let me kind of get, we kind of have another like extra layer of, not this. I don't know, no. I don't think, no. The lower lip does not really extend as far as the upper lip, the ending of the upper lip. So I want to have something, yeah, since somewhere around here, and just get this to look right. Yeah, something like this should be fine. I'm going to show you guys what I'm actually doing. Okay, actually you can see it from reference image already. Though ours is not completely there, we still need to refine it a bit more. Let me use this reference image instead. Okay. So for the lower lip now, you can see like we have like two sides there. You can see this ridge in there, this bump and the ridge. So we need to kind of create that bump in there. Though it differs for different individuals. So you just want to pay attention to your reference image. Very important. So I'm just going to max out the lower part of the lip so I can actually work on that and refine that even more. So I've maxed the upper part, leaving the lower part maxed out. So now I can kind of add this bump around this in a rounded motion, or in a rounded form rather. So I'm going to be using the clay build-up brush to kind of add some more fleshiness around this. You always want to check this from the side view, because from the side view give you a better idea of what you're actually doing. Yeah. So the side view now you can actually capture that properly even more. So something else we're trying to create. I'm not going to extend this over to the end of the lower lip because it's not really extended to the end of the lower lip. So now I'm kind of carving something in there, kind of show you guys the region where I'm trying to add more fleshiness to, or add kind of bump to. I'm going to undo that, so I just want to show you guys where it should be. And I'm going to start. Okay, let's try the clay brush instead. Clay brush gives us a weird result though. Maybe we can still keep it. Let's just stick with the clay build-up brush instead, because that gives us a better transition. So now we just need to, so then we'll begin to smooth that out, but at least you can see the bump on top of this now. Maybe even more, like so around here. Then take down the smooth brush size, the smooth intensity rather. Then I'll need to smooth that down a bit more. Let's see how that looks. Maybe add more in here. So around here. I don't think, nope. No, let me undo that. That part should be just to maintain its shape. So let me just kind of smooth this out down, just to blend that back in. Like so. That should be fine. Nope. So I'm using the standard brush now, kind of add some more roundedness to this. So from a distance now, you can see how rounded that lower part of the lip is. Just make it feel a bit more thicker and not too sharp. like it was before. Something like so. I'll not smooth this out, slightly smoothing that out. No, so let me invert the marks now. So let's work on the upper part of the lips. Okay. So following the reference image also, you can see how the bump is in the center part itself. It's more or less more centered in the center part. So I'm kind of adding some more bump around that side also. I'm also adding some more bump on the edges also. That part should have some kind of more bumps to it. Though not as aggressive as the center part. Just like the way it is in our reference image. Now I kind of lost the landmark of that upper lip. So let me, nope, that's too intense. This pressure is way too much. No, 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 no. There's emotion here. No, 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 let me do that again. Maybe something like that should be fine, I guess. No, let me redo that. We kind of lost the way it was. Kind of lost the way it was. Let's kind of see the way it is in here. Kind of checking the flow. Uh, this is a standard brush instead. That kind of mark give us a more sharper. Holding Alt give us a more something like this should be fine here, much better. Something like this should be fine. That'll be like we don't need to lose this major landmark, so we can kind of get an idea of where we're kind of adding some more bumps to. Probably this will serve as a better guide for us. So from the top view now, you can see how the shape is from the top view. So let's kind of fix that with our move to kind of fix some of this up a bit. Okay. Check this from the side view also. So very important, we always want to check this from all views just to make sure everything is working correctly as it should. Okay, let me just accentuate that even more. And I'll just smooth this back down so it doesn't feel too aggressive. Yeah, something like this should be fine. So let's kind of add this. Let me show you guys what I want to add next. That indentation I showed you guys initially. So that's indentation in there. Let's kind of add that in because it feels like we don't add that. It's making it not look so much like a lip. So let's kind of add that in there. Yeah, no, that's it. So yeah, something like this should be fine, I guess. Maybe more indentation, deepen it even more, then smooth that back down. Yeah, something like this should be fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Maybe a bit more, smooth that out. Then I'm using the standard brush now to kind of add some kind of lip around it. Just give it some more edge. Then smoothing it back down. I think I need to flesh this out even more. Probably even flesh out most of the shape itself, most of the upper lip even more. Probably. Let's see how it is from this distance. But the idea is to stay true to your reference image. Always stay true to your reference image. There's some more fleshiness around there to compensate for it. But I'm not just adding it, I'm kind of following the transitional flow, the directional flow to it. It's very important. Directional flow to it is also important. So you can see, you're not just doing this off where it should be. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Think maybe you have something around here. Maybe that's something around here. Maybe not so much. Something like just carve this out. Okay. Think we're more or less like there. Most of the details or the silhouette of this shape is already in there. Let me just add a cut line around. No, let me do this again. Something like this should be fine. I'll smooth that out. More or less like a separator around there. Something like that should be fine. That is fine. It feels more like a a female lip though. But regardless, the might even feel like a woman, like a male lip. Maybe there's one male that has this similar lips also. But the idea remains the same. Follow your reference image to the end, to the letter. Always follow your reference image, very important. So maybe you have a concept in your head already that you want to kind of sculpt in, then that's completely fine. But if you're working with your reference image and the idea is to get this very close to your reference image, at least the anatomical structure and forms of it, you can go for it. That's completely fine. You need to do that. So more or less, I'm just adding more or less like some kind of unnecessary details that are not really necessary for what I've created already, which is the leaves. But let me just carve that in there. It still counts though. I'm just trying to add surrounding structural forms that gives the lips a bit more that gives the lips a bit more what should I use? That gives the lips a bit more feeling of being a lip in a natural face. Yeah, let me just use that explanation instead. That makes better sense. Let me just block this out. Just blocking out the necessary label fold for this. Just blocking out the necessary label fold. Something like around this should be fine. Probably even more around there. Okay. Maybe more fleshiness around here. This might not be this. I'm not sure if this is even anatomically correct, but I just want to add something in there that looks similar to the reference image on the side. But though this particular thing I'm adding feels more of a fatter guy's face than a younger person. We can see this now from this viewport. It's been in our screen like this. Feels more like a lip on a natural face, even without zooming out. But zooming out now, we obviously know this is not looking like a. This is not actually it's not actually on the face. So I think we've more or less captured the realistic lip we're actually going for. Though each lip of a character feels completely different from another one. Just like we have in this, let me just show you guys the reference image again. Yeah, this is it. You can see how we have various lip shapes. Various lip shapes. Some people have more fuller lip than others. Some don't really have that fuller lip like that of others. Especially Africans. Most Africans have like mostly fuller lips. Most Africans have fuller lips. While some older Caucasian has less fuller lip. Like their lips, the lower lip is more thinner, not too fleshy compared to the upper lip or the fuller lip of an African male. But like I said before, the most important thing is kind of get this to look like your reference image. And we can easily adjust this to look more of like a fuller lip, like I'm trying to do now for an African male. Trying to get this to feel more like a fuller lip. So I'll do this for the bottom part. Basically just pushing this down and adjusting the roundedness of the shape to just kind of look similar to that of the reference. That's basically what I'm just trying to do. Then for a fuller lip, it needs to add more. It needs to have more fleshiness to it. We're going to flesh it out even more. Like flesh it out more. That's why even though the anatomical structures are actually in there, each person has different set of lips based on the primary silhouette of the shape and the secondary silhouette of the shape, even the tertiary silhouette of the shape also always feels different for each individual. So that's why it's always important to look into reference images. So I'm actually fleshing this out even more to look more of that of a fuller lip. Though you have to still keep in mind the anatomical structure of it, so it feels more realistic. We're not just adding flesh all over the place. We're adding flesh with more directional flow to it, just to respect that anatomical structure we have in there already, that we've already established. Okay, what else can we do to make this worse than it is right now? Maybe the silhouette of this underneath here. Maybe just push this down some more, like so. Push it up. Okay. Okay. All right. No, no, definitely not. Definitely not. Okay. We're pretty much done the most important thing already. So this is just me trying to change this up to look somewhat like a different set of lips. Then I'll just add something like this, make it even fuller, smooth it out, like so. Sharpen it out, smooth it out. Okay, yeah, this looks fine. Should we do anything we're supposed to even do in here? I don't think there's anything. Probably doing something unnecessary. I'm not supposed to even do this. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm doing this. Because after trying this out, it does not look the way I want it to look like. So it's kind of anatomically wrong. Just me trying to overdo. Maybe there's someone out there on earth that actually has something like this. Maybe I think so. Yes, someone out there should have something like this. I'll defend my work. Someone out there should have something like this. Okay, so enough playing around. I've already captured the leaves already. Already captured that. Let me just dig this in even more. Actually captured the subject of that leaves already. So any of that thing I did around it is just to make it feel like it's a tube of a piece. Okay, so you can take your time. You can see this one is a bit thinner, like I was explaining earlier on, a bit thinner, not so full like this one. So you have to do just to push the lower lip up and the upper lip down and make them close themselves. And then you should have something close to that reference image in there. I think it's all good. It's all good. So good. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.